What's up everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode. I recently got into speedrunning. I'm currently working on my personal best for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the PS4. Speedrunning strat number 1, always keep a guide handy. Now personally, I like to keep every single answer to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on my arm, so that no matter what happens, I am fully prepared to get this world record attempt. So you want to start speedrunning? Well, you've come to the right place. Speedrunning is one of the most visually enticing and jaw-dropping experiences in all of video games. It's human nature to enjoy watching people who are better than you at something. If you're really interested in a topic, it's only natural for you to want to watch people do what you're doing, only 10 times faster. Speedrunning is an art form, and it's been around for years, but it hasn't really received mainstream popularity until just recently due to the rise of streaming and the internet. With events like Games Done Quick coupled alongside Twitch streamers and YouTube challenges, people have discovered ways to exploit and manipulate these games in ways so that titles can be beaten in mere minutes now. Bad example, but regardless, with how popular speedrunning has become in recent years, it has become far easier than ever to get into the genre and experience one of gaming's most proficient and exciting forms of play, which begs the question, how can you get into speedrunning? What game should you speedrun? Where do I start? What timers do I need? What software do I need to download? How do you get into the communities? But all of that is overcomplicating how easy it is to actually get started into speedrunning. Just f***ing do it! People like to express how difficult speedrunning is, how you have to do tons of research to start speedrunning a game. Like, let's say you like Star Fox Zero, okay? I'm not here to judge, we all have our problems, but all you need to do is grab the game, grab a timer, and just play through it as fast as possible. That's it, that's truly how simple speedrunning is. Now I know that's not the answer you want, so let's get into a little bit more specifics. What game should I start speedrunning? Well, just start out with a game that you actually enjoy. I hear so many people say, oh, you've gotta play Super Mario 64, Celeste, Portal, Minecraft, but why? I feel like that's forcing speedrunning into a task. In essence, you can honestly speedrun any game you want to. Now, I wouldn't really recommend jumping into speedrunning Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's a really tall order. Wait, it's only 4.5 hours? Alright, maybe that's not so bad. Okay, Persona 5 Royal. Yeah, let's just get that one out of the way. The first game I ever speedran was Super Mario 64. Very original, I know. I like Super Mario 64 for the sheer flexibility of its speedrun. It's not a long game, it's not insanely difficult to execute glitches and skips, but it's challenging enough to be rewarding to the player. I got to the point where I could beat the whole game in under 25 minutes. And then there are madmen out here who could beat the game in under 7. But that's where different categories come into play. See, speedruns usually have 3 different categories based off of how you want to complete the game. They're all pretty self-explanatory. Any percent is get to the end credits as fast as you possibly can. Glitchless is the same concept, however, you're not allowed to do anything that makes the game look like it's tearing apart at the seams. We'll go over more details in a sec. And 100% is exactly what it sounds like. Complete the game in its entirety. Do every single thing the game has to offer. There's 900? But then you have these special categories, speedruns in which you have to perform a specific task in order to complete an objective as fast as possible. The first speedrun I typically think of is nipple percent. You can tell Super Mario speedrunners take themselves very seriously. This is basically a speedrun for Super Mario Odyssey players to get to Toast Arena as quick as possible and unlock the shirtless Mario costume. It's obviously meant for a fun challenge and a joke, but these small categories can turn anything into a speedrun. I mean, if it's just completing a challenge, couldn't you make the argument that any game with a time trial can be considered a speedrun? Crash Bandicoot Time Trials is one of the first recorded instances in a platformer, and it recently gained leaderboard capabilities with the Insane Trilogy. But really, any racing game that has ghosts or time trials could technically be considered a speedrun. You've got to take a lot of these with a grain of salt though. See, a lot of times since there's no video recorded proof of this, it's hard to tell what's legitimate and what's not on online leaderboards. For example, back when I was a kid, I used to be the runner-up world record holder on Peach Beach for Mario Kart Wii. Now if you look at the leaderboards, I'm a f***ing disgrace. But that leads to number 2, consistency. Easily the hardest part of getting into speedrunning is continuously practicing and getting better. You speedrun a video game for the first time and bam, 2 hours. Alright, let's go again. An hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. You just discovered a new strategy that can save a bunch of time. Now you're beating this game in less than an hour. But then you hit a brick wall. It's an inevitability for speedrunners. No matter what you do, you are going to come to a point where you are struggling to keep up with your time. You had a really good run, and now you just can't seem to top it. That's the moment where you have 2 options to say. You can say, this game is trash and I don't want to play it anymore, or you can persevere and say, okay, look, I'm not f***ing around, it's time to get serious. No, I might be in the minority here, but I've seen plenty of people get so frustrated to the point where they're just not having an enjoyable time anymore. I was really enjoying speedrunning Super Mario Sunshine, but then I got to this stupid fucking glitch where you have to get the coconut in the hut. I swear to God, I sat down one day and tried to get this for hours and I just couldn't do it. Now, did I go to forums and get advice, try alternate strategies, and blame the controller? Yes, I did do all of that, but I also just gave up. I wasn't having fun anymore. Now, while that may knock me 3 points up on my bitch status, some of these actions are pixel perfect, frame specific. People practice for hours on end to save fractions of a second on the smallest section. If you're not having fun and it's not for you, I don't think there's anything wrong with not exactly throwing in the towel, but being comfortable with where you're at. But if you do want to torture yourself, then we get to number 3, the community. If there's a game that you're interested in, 90% of the time, there's a community out there for you. Speedrun.com is pretty much the go-to forum for all things speedrunning and has great options for beginners to learn how and where to start. It makes it a whole lot easier when there's a button on the homepage. I've had some great conversations with so many people in these communities, and every single one only wants people to thrive, help them learn more secrets, donate exorbitant amounts of money to charity. AGDQ has great tutorials in the form of commentators breaking down the game side by side alongside a speedrunner, so if you really want to learn how to run a game, this is usually where I like to start. Even then, many times going to speedrunners' personal channels typically gives plenty of beginners in-depth video guides on how to run the tasks in the game. Seriously, look up how to backwards long jump on YouTube. If you can't find a video that helps you out, I don't know what to tell you. Speedrunning is a sport. The amount of time, dedication, and persistence that people put into perfecting their craft is truly a sight to behold. If Usain Bolt can train for years to learn how to run 10 seconds faster than anyone else in the world, why shouldn't we give the same credit to someone putting in the same amount of practice into a video game? Okay, that might be a bad example, but why is there no speedrunning community for Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games? Speedrunning is such a great conversation topic. Every community has its own story. Every game can be dissected to the smallest details with amazing feats scattered along the way. When you see people beating Pokemon Red in less than 90 seconds, you think to yourself, man, I want to learn how to do that. Never mind, I don't want to learn how to do that. Speedrunners also have the capabilities of being so much more than their respective games. People have been able to expand the groundwork that developers have laid down and put such creative ideas and spins on the core gameplay to the point that it's almost inhuman what these speedrunners are able to achieve. At the end of the day, people love speedrunning because people love seeing the best of the best. Again, it's human nature to want to be the best at something, so when you can jump into a Twitch chat and have the option to chat with someone who's #1 in the world, even if it's Barbie Horse Adventure Wild Horse Rescue, that's honestly pretty cool. I can't lie and say that I've never wanted to get a world record, but I think I finally found a game that I can do that in, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and start my world record run attempt right now. Checkmate, bitches. Nope, I don't like. What's?